Alright, we are live with a guest. Not asked for him to be here, but he's here, and that is a good thing. Not a lot of good things right now. We'll get to that later. I'm not going to start with that because we have a package to get to. But we also have a little extra. We have an absurd amount of Tetra Tops. These are the ones from city number 3. I don't know which their name is. But there's 6 of them. What is he? He's really interested in the mailer these came in. And now he's gone. Oh no, actually he's not. He's over here. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, 6 of these from city number 3. Didn't have this one yet. 6 of these that is not from anything. It's the same shape as the ones from Galileo, but they're smaller and they're white, and I think I already had this one. 6 of this blue one, that's the shape from Ode to Joy, but I think the one in there is clear. The way they film is really weird, so it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, these look close. I know a lot of people have these sets. It's a common type of set. And then this red one that was just kind of with it, which I already have. So, selling these, have a few people interested already. It won't be on eBay right away because I'm going to go direct first, but yeah. Oh, also, it came with literally like, oh my god, like 100 cards. So, Jesus fucking Christ, oh my god. There's literally like over 100 of these. I don't need this. If you receive a package from me in the next year, at this point, you're gonna get one of these. Especially if you buy the Tetra Tops, you can get as many as you want. I don't need all these. I already have a few upstairs, but not this many. If you were to sit here and count all of them, we'd be here all day. There's like 20, it's like 30 of each of them. How do you get all these? I don't know. Okay, I just checked the chat for the first time. Let me do something I meant to do. There we go. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so just way too many cards. Too many for my own good, as far as I'm concerned. But these are from the United States, so they do not apply. They're not what we're here for. We are here for a Poland package. This Poland package started early November with something really, really good. Then that thing got canceled, and then I found some things that are just plain good. This order is not great, but I have very high standards. We saw what the last one did. Not Poland, but just in general, the France one with the hollow wheel. So, it's alright. It's still solid. And it was also very, very cheap. That's the main thing. This was extremely cheap to get. Why did it just hold Jackson's message, I wish I still had my Tetra Tops for review? No, sorry, you can't say that. We don't want that here. That's hate speech. Obviously, you're fine. I don't know why it put that for review. Yeah, obviously I already had Tetra Tops, but they were a different set. The only one to have the blue Beethoven one, which I think is really cool. I sometimes forget about that. With some things going on, I think the toy dock might get a bit of a revamp, so maybe I'll separate the Tetra Tops. I don't know. There's a lot of things I need to do with it, and I'm now the main editor of it, even though it half runs on my computer, so. Alright. Okay, let's get to this. We're going to start with the thing that's most visible. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tangled is it? Like a 6. Oh, 0. However it is... Oh, here's the head. Okay, that wasn't hard. Alright. just in case you're blind, this is the flying cow. It is the white version. It's in pretty good condition. I've gotten a couple of these. Sold one recently. This is, looks good. Not too dirty. I also think some of it might just be the pattern that it's made with. I don't know. Works well, not tangled. Seller had sent me a message saying I did my best to not tangle it in shipping, and I mean, they did a pretty good job. It was really easy to get untangled. I don't know what I'm going to sell the Tetra Tops for because it's kind of hard to evaluate them. Like, they're so small, but then you look at the listings, and you kind of have to look at which ones are available and which ones actually sold. And you've got to go with which ones actually sold to determine. And most of them sell in the packaging, so for these ones that aren't, it would be less. I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, it's pretty easy to make replicas of Tetra Tops. I did it in 2018, but they were bad. And now I don't have any reason to. So alright, flying cow, good condition, everything is good. I think the best analog for this order is going to be the April UK order with the Form C and the RC Bumblebee and the things. Very small, not incredible, but some nice stuff, and was just very efficient, very cheap. Okay. Yeah, it did say that was, it wanted me to approve it because it didn't like it. It thought it should be declined. Yeah, I can't really ban you from watching, but I'm not gonna say I'm happy with it. We'll get to that later. That is not here or there. It's later. Anyways, for the first time in... What is this? Oh, dude. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I was... I don't know. Maybe it was the right one. I don't know. Okay. We'll figure that out later. Anyways. Oscar Octopus. Don't be sorry. He did it to himself. Yeah, that is not... This is... So yeah, these are on every so often. I feel like I hadn't seen them for a while, and then they kind of started coming out of the woodwork. But, it's very small. It's not all that. It was made not that long ago. Also a weird little thing in there, but it's hard to really... Well, that's great. I suggest you just ride into the sunset at this point, but... We can leave it for now. Alright, cool. In T days? Is that like, I have to figure out the mathematical equation? Anyways, so yeah, works good. Ow. This might end up going on eBay. I don't think it's reserved. I know Cameron had his for 81. I think that's too much for something that is about just the size of a bite. Not gonna do it. But it's pretty rare, it's nice. Maybe 50, I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Tatum, there is. There is not media. There is not broken TV. There is this. It's stuck to the... Hold on. Okay. Now, you guys might remember that multiple race car clocks have been found in Czechia, and Poland and Czechia kind of go hand in hand. They border each other. So here's the bowling clock. I don't know. What I do know is that the hand has fallen off and needs to be glued back on, and I don't like that. Okay, I got all of them off now, but that's not going to help our cause. Also, a little part of the I'm not is the cow's horn, or I think a little part of the cow's horn broke off. I can fix that easily. Brandon shit. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hide that. Um, he okay. We can show it, I guess. Hello, Mario fan. Okay, so let's ignore the hands because no one likes the hands. It's bent out of place a little bit. We're gonna try and fix that. I think we did. That was pretty easy. There's a bag with a singular battery. Or not a bag, a little thing, little bubble mailer thing. Here's something interesting. This is functionally the same as the race car clock. It's got the same mold, same type of thing. But my race car clock is missing this part, and I don't know if it helps at all. It's been mostly fine without it, so I would say no. But let's see how this goes. No hands. Look, Ma, no hands on the clock. You still got arms. That's not the point. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, I figured it would, and I figured I'd probably... This is the type of thing where if someone messages me saying they want it, I will sell it to them for not very much. Because it was it was like $3. He is old. I mean, look at the hair. It's like... Ooh, yeah, he's very old. So, not totally sure what the consensus is on this. Oddly enough, it does not have the weighted thing at the back like the race car clock does. I wonder if I can use any parts from this to make the race car clock work a little better, because it moves very slowly. I also wonder if this battery is any good at all. I mean, he's going. He's not going well, but he's going. Someone out there owns this, that's not me, and I just think that's great, because it's not good. He just lightly moves his arm. Okay. Well, it does go. It does move. And that is enough. Let's get the hands back on, at least for now, even if they don't move. I probably did this the wrong way. I'll figure it out later. I just don't want them sitting around and I lose them. Yeah, they don't even move with the battery, so... Might be a lost cause, might not, I don't know. But that's okay. Because if it was any more than the price it was, I wouldn't have gotten it, since I knew it was weird. But weird is fun, to an extent. RLS Services, I don't even know if it's a real company, but it's La Fantasy. The logo's right here. So, it's the equivalent of what you're talking about, Jackson. A fan to make it go better? I don't think that would work. It's actually, honestly, it's going fine. I think it's doing what it's supposed to. So that's good, I guess. Okay, we got a pretty standard thing. Hero's Caterpillar. There was a point in the Poland order where I was kind of looking for things to fill in the gaps and make it worth it, and this is one of those things. Although what this is worth is about the cost of what I paid for shipping, so even a pretty regular boring toy like this, which is so weird that at this point in the community this has to be called boring because of how many people have gotten it, but it's true. It's not that rare anymore. They're always in international. However, this one's in pretty good condition. Paint's bright, couple marks here and there. Obviously it works fine, because I don't know how it wouldn't. I am also going to see Christmas lights while I drive around, so you get it. Anyways, I don't think this is reserved. I'll check in with a couple people if they want it, but this is the type of thing that'll probably just go on eBay. I know it's on for 80 from Guess Who, which I'll get to more later, but I'll do like 50 or 60. It's just not worth that much. What are you doing? Ringo made a weird noise. Okay, I don't know if we need to know that. We don't know these people, Brandon. Sorry. Alright, okay. What's in here? What? Oh my god. This is probably the most interesting thing in here. It's not the best or the rarest, it's just the weirdest. Ringo time now. Literally the second I saw you sent that message, John, he came in. And I just think that's great. Alright, I don't want to damage the packaging for this, because it's wrapped really, really tightly, which I appreciate. I mean, in France, they don't do that, and sometimes then that's and that. Godfather, I would do 50 plus shipping. You know, I think that's kind of fair for both of us, but if you don't want it, I get it. It might just be on eBay, so if you're kind of debating, and then by the time you're more confident in it, it's still on, you can get it, but it's all up to you. Totally get not wanting to spend a shit ton of money on things, because I don't either. I respect it. So you may know the Squeezy Swimmer's seal from Neptune, but do you know Water Fun? That's just his city. There's a... Okay, alright. This is one of the best free things I've gotten ever. Pikachu sticker. It's like one of those puffy ones. One lucky person will get this. I'll be hosting a charity auction for it. Matthew, scammed usually refers to not receiving the item like that you ordered, and that's not the problem with Cameron, but the more simple thing is you overpaid, and you know, you can learn from that, learn to not overpay, because there's other options, and that's a good thing. So I wouldn't beat yourself up over it. But anyways, this looks like this. It's a bit hard to... Okay, it actually opened pretty easily. So, the Squeezy Swimmer seal works by squeezing these two legs together, and then it gives it some force, and it starts moving. But this is just a standard winder. Let's just take a little bit to... Yeah, I can kind of understand that. I serve to make sure that does not happen. But anyways, let's take a moment to admire him from all angles. Bottom, side. I don't know if this is a brand or it's like a Polish word that means something. I don't know. There's not really any Polish on this packaging. It's probably not. Dasini. It's like Dasani, but with the second A being an I. So I don't know if there's some info on the back. It was imported by Halina Adam Kinga on the website Hertawa Halina, and the Polish name is Zaba Nakrasana. It's got a barcode that doesn't make any logical sense with how I thought barcodes work. There's also some Arabic on the back. So just truly a outstanding specimen. He goes crazy. And now, I don't know if I'm going to film this for two reasons. One, when I filmed the one last year, it was a huge fucking pain where it was a massive mess. I had to take one of my drawers, fill it with water from the bathtub, and then slowly kick it along the floor back into the playroom where the lights are. And then after that, after I did that, everything went to shit, so I don't trust it. But this is still really weird. You can hold it like this and it'll spin. And just like the bowling clock, I don't know what this perceived value is, but I don't think I'm gonna sell this. I can't get rid of it yet. It's beautiful. It's fine art. However, let me put it back in the packaging. I put them in upside down. Let's try that again. I don't actually know what exact way. Alright, that'll work. Let's stick the sticker on the microphone. Yay. Alright, what is this? It's in a Samsung phone case. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. It works. Alright, these are the exact Turbo Tower tops. Now, the only reason they're not exact is because the colors are swapped, but the patterns are exact. You can tell by this launcher. If the launcher looks like this, then that's exact. I think in Bach, the biggest top is either blue or purple. Second biggest, I think, is red. Third biggest is either blue or purple, whichever one the first wasn't. And then green, and I don't know. But obviously this was not hard to get. This box is pretty sturdy, actually. I feel like it's good for a phone case box. What was I saying? Reserved or keep for the tops or the La Fantasy clock? I already have the tops, so that's a neither, I don't think. I don't think they're reserved yet. And the clock, if someone really wants it, they can get it. If not, I'll just keep it. It's moving really good now. I don't know what changed, but it's good. I appreciate that. I know my step-grandpa is very into bowling, but I don't think he would want this. He also hasn't bowled in a while. Yeah, I can get that. There's more going on. I think the Hydro Gyro is a better toy just because of how unique it is, but how it's used in the video, I think the tops are a little better. Exact tops have this exact launcher with this print on the white. Non-exact are not that. And then the tops just have these patterns. I mean, I can't really specifically say what they are. It's not like the branding, because we don't even know the brand. The ones in Bach, the colors are swapped on these with which is which, but that's usually going to happen with exact. I think I've gotten 3 or 4 sets of these, and that's always been the case. So, yeah. I would be curious to see if these stack a little better than my other ones, because my other ones, I filmed them, and they got to like 3 or 4, but then they stopped, and that's that. Now, the first exact ones of these I got were in that UK order I was talking about earlier, from April. Yeah, these are not the super stacking tops, Brandon. I'm sorry. Let's take a moment to check things. Okay, I was checking my Discord DMs, and I was DM'd someone sending, comment from Jackson that the magic clock should have been the clown clock, and I cannot agree more. That would have been a great replacement. So I never thought of that, but that's a great idea, and props to you for thinking of that, because that would have made a lot of sense. Anyways, this has 13 items, so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I smacked him too hard. I'm sorry. So I don't know, Matthew, I don't know if you're still here, but I have some sad news. I ordered that Parrot plush that was in bad condition, and they sent me this random Parrot plush. And this, I think, is actually the first ever time I've been sent just a flat-out wrong item. He's very nice looking. I appreciate it, and I'm not that mad, because the one I got was in terrible condition. Like, an eye was missing. It looked like it was chewed on by a dog. It was less than $1, but it was in bad condition. So, you can have this for free, but we'll have to figure out a different plan for the other one. And there's a sound. Ringo, hey, come here. It's got a sound box in it. It stopped working. Oh my god. He made noise. He no longer makes noise. So, alright. This was supposed to be the Parrot from Da Vinci that got recently found. Got one in the other order. And now it's not. And he's not even playing sound anymore. I can't believe it. So we'll go ahead and set him over here. Look, very nice guy, appreciate it, but did not order it. Okay, we got. Oh, well. Yeah. See, normally I wouldn't get something like this, but the price of it was 50 cents. So it was a bit hard to pass up. This is Pop Pop Top, the close version, but not it. I don't know why it was in Poland, but mine of this is in really bad condition, so this is a lot of the reason why I got this one. But interestingly enough, this one has Redbox branding from 1996. So we'll be selling my other one for not that much, because this is not all that rare. It's on eBay sometimes, and it's not in good condition, but it'll be sold. And now I can film this, which is the main reason I got it. Because it's not in perfect condition, but it's decent. It's filmable. The other one is not. Back to Basics sells different products by different manufacturers. Like Schilling, they've sold a bird trumpet. So them selling stuffed plant toys would make perfect sense with what we know about them. So to me, that still checks out pretty perfectly. Okay, alright. But yeah, works well. The bear gets out of place sometimes, but I know that's the case on my other one too. And like I said, this order is not record-breaking in any way. It's one of the weaker orders, especially recently, but it's still decent and it was very cheap. Anyways, we've got the Jackpot helicopter, and this does not come with a remote, but it's still very good. Haven't gotten one of these in a while. That goes for a while. And we're going to test something, because I know when Cameron got his, which was a long time ago, and we got it really early, he said it worked with a TV remote. So we're going to try that. I don't know what buttons you would even press, like what would make sense. I also kind of doubt this is going to work. There's no on or off button on this, it just kind of happens. Although when you spin the wheel, it does go for a while. I'm not going to turn the TV on, I'm just going to press all the other buttons. Yeah, no. Okay. So, this does not come with a remote. I'll try some of my other toy remotes with it, because those would maybe have a better chance since they work differently. But, alright, it's in good condition. The last few I've seen of these have all been without the remote, so it's kind of whatever. But, I mean, there's no antenna, so maybe this isn't supposed to work with a remote. You know what? Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards this just being a pushback, which is okay, but weird. Again, I don't have a hard surface to test this on, so kind of whatever, but yeah. Alright, so I think that's 9 out of 13. Yeah, it is. Alright, okay. I'd say the most interesting things in the package are coming up. I'm biased, I guess, but still. Every so often, something is wrapped so tightly that it cannot possibly be sent in anything but the original packaging. This is one of those cases. Take a look at the shape and guess what is in here. And now we'll open it. Jesus Christ. There's like a really faint smoke smell. So it looks insignificant, it doesn't really matter. Now what is it? Yes, Jack, you got it. So this is a weird case because it's rare. It's not super rare, but it's a high demand toy, and it's also very bulky. So, yeah. They did not mess around. I mean, I think it would have probably been fine any way they did it, but Jesus. Alright, solid condition. Few marks, a little yellowed, but not bad. Definitely a smoker, but not really that bad. If I remember correctly, this is missing one shape. If it's missing the triangle, I think I have a replacement for it. It's not. It's missing the circle, the blue circle. Okay, so, trunk's still there, looks good. I know some of them are missing that. Let's put them in. Ooh. So this is one of the things that Cameron sold that I think is actually kind of close to what I would sell it for, because like I said, bulky, high-demand toy, large size, relatively. I think it can justify a similar price to what he did, although I'd say a little less, maybe like 80 as opposed to close to 100. But get where he was going with that, just don't fully agree. Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Alright, cool. That's about all she wrote with that. Okay, now my 3 favorite things in the package. Where is the ball? Oh, it's so stupid. Okay, little thing we have to find first. Ah, there we go. Here are father or mother and son or daughter. These are the rolling ladybugs, and if you didn't know, this along with the rolling turtle are made by a Polish company called Tarnawa. In addition, Kinderkram, I think distributed them because the evidence I found is a lot more suggesting that they were made by this Tarnawa than Kinderkram. But both are correct because my turtle has the branding of Kinderkram on it. And if you're wondering what the thing that started the pull-in order was and got canceled, it was the rolling turtle. They were not active in over a year and didn't see anything or ship it or anything. So, I'll tilt the camera down a little bit. Here's the small one, and it sucks a little bit because it's small. And here's a large one. It doesn't suck as much because it's big. This one was actually from like a actual company. This one didn't come from Vinted or whatever. And now I want to keep one of these. I would prefer the large one. So if anyone wants the small one for a cheap price, because, I mean, I can fit the ball in my mouth almost, let me know. It's very, very funny. I actually have a red soccer ball that looks exactly like this that I got when I was like a baby, and there's a bunch of home videos with me with it. I had the large ladybug before from France, but then I sold it. And now I get to keep it because I don't really have any reason to sell it, and it's nice. No, see, the ladybugs work like, dog and cat litters, where, after 10 weeks. Corey, depends if you want the small one or if you really, really want the large one. It's kind of hard to say for this because it's really rare, but it's non-BE and it's small, but it's still cool, but it's small, and I don't know. I have to kind of weigh my options. Regardless, glad to get both of these. One will go to someone who wants it, probably. The other will stay here. Yeah, Brandon, we got that. He was more saying hypothetically. Alright, and now what I would say is the best thing in here. We got in a grocery store fruit bag. Oh no. Oh, God. Okay, I'll fix it later. Got the teddy copter and the propeller broke a little. So that's an easy glue job. I'll probably end up holding on to this one because I wouldn't trust it in shipping. But it's a teddy copter with the bear, which is why I got it. This was later on. It does work. Fix this later. Probably sooner than later, actually. But it should be an easy fix, so let's hope. Because that's a really weird spot for it to break, honestly. I suppose I'm not tilting the camera properly. Here we go. Here's the propeller. I'm fairly sure it's reserved. There's one person I think is going to want it, and if that person doesn't, there's another, and then if that person does it, I don't know. Baby Shakespeare. Holy crud. You're kidding. So, alright, not too often you see this with the bear, let alone at all. So it was still worth it, but I'll have to do some surgery on it in a little while. Not much to say here. Kind of went over everything. Solid, but small order. Let's get all the wrapping back in the box to go. For the first time in a long time, I was short on bubble wrap. So all the wrapping in here will come in very useful for future packages. Even though obviously once I run out, I'll just get more. But usually the cycle is that I get enough with the things I buy to sustain the things I sell. And that it's still ringing through, really. So, alright, pretty happy with that. The Parrot and the teddy copter are sad tales, but it is what it is. The Pikachu sticker was a very nice bonus. And now we get to the elephant in the room. What do we do about what's happening in our community? Well, you can go to VTG's... Well, we'll start with what happened earliest. You can go to VTG's post. His post, my post, a lot of the other comments on there. They really say all you need to know. The rampant harassing, bullying, whatever you want to call it, mocking, just general looking down upon the community by Cameron and the people is not good. And his response I was not very happy with. It was just kind of, I didn't do this, or why it was okay. There was never an apology because he can't apologize. I don't think he has it in him. So who knows what's going to happen with that. And then the video that Cameron uploaded, yeah, that was a real thing that happened. I'd just like to say, not that I should have to, but that is not true. That does not happen. If anything, I'm more eager to please George than he is me, and not like that. I do a lot to help him. That's uncalled for. You just don't say that. There's no good context for it. There's no good place for it to be said. And I applaud the people who took action and gave him the consequences that were needed to show that you can't just get away with that. I don't really know if I want the call on YouTube, because it's kind of, not embarrassing, it's not really the right word, but just awkward. I don't think it needs to be on YouTube, but I will give Cameron all his flowers that he wants. because he handled it well. He came up with good consequences for what would happen to him and his server. And he clearly cares a lot, which means something to me and to George, but I just don't know if that video needs to be on YouTube. I don't think it's really helping anyone. Uh, yeah, again, I'll give Cameron credit where it's deserved, but it's not all that often. There's a lot of issues. It's just a mess, and if you just don't want to deal with it, just don't watch the people. Don't watch Cameron's content, because I think he's flat out admitted he just does it for views, which is kind of sad because I don't do anything I do for views. I mean, I'm not uploading 72 cute songs for views. I'm uploading because I'm interested in them and think other people might enjoy the songs too. And if that's the bottom line for why you're doing your content, I just don't think that's right. I think it's sad, insulting, just kind of pathetic in a way. And I don't know if he came out and said that, but we had received some messages from him and others that kind of confirmed that. So, if you're in the BE community and you're doing what you do for views, you're not in the right place. The thing that happened yesterday was absolutely insane. And it's up to anyone who is close or somewhat close or even in reasonable contact with Cameron or whoever to decide what they want to do. I don't believe he's a good friend. I don't believe he's a positive person. I don't believe he's someone that you gain anything from being around. But that is up to each person's individual decision of what they want to do. So, and right now in the past 24 hours, he has not been the problem. I will totally say that. Because again, Cameron handled the situation very well yesterday. That's great. If people won't let you be friends with someone, and you consider those people forbidding you your friends, then maybe they're not great friends. Now, I was informed of what Shane did. I don't really know what to think. I think there's a bad and a good side. But I'm not going to put that here. That is their private matter. I definitely have a couple more things to say. Blanking out. I've said so much in the past 3 days. I think I've run out of things to say. But yeah, VTG's post and the comments on there are a great give a great idea of what's going on and how to make sense of it. But bottom line, bullying is bad. Death threats are bad. I know Cameron had said he was getting... Both Cameron and Devin had said have said they were getting death threats for what they did. And I think Cameron's were the obvious person, and I have not seen any proof of the second. So take those with a grain of salt. Death threats are obviously bad, but I think in these situations there's some asterisks with them. One's from someone who's been doing them forever, and they've almost become meaningless because he does them so much, and the other, I don't even know if it's real. I don't want to invalidate that if it is, because that's insulting, but I don't have a ton of reason to believe it. But yeah, bullying bad, death threats bad, harassment is bad, saying that me and George are gay lords is also bad, because it's 12-year-old mentality that gay is the funniest thing ever. Really? You didn't grow out of that? I wasn't deeply offended by it. I can't really say the same for George, but it was plain stupid. Dreamy, you're late. You can leave now, by the way. If you should be able to decide as a person if a person's actions are worth going after them for. People like Devin, yes. People like Tatum, no. Okay, his videos that aren't great, oh well. Are they hurting you? You stay up at night thinking about them? That's on you if you do. So, just don't support these people doing these things, I would say. And advocate for being better, and if they can't be better, then don't be around them. But I think a lot of people know this by now. They have the right to decide what they want, and I have the right to give them the advice. It is, and Jackson, I think, honestly, the circles you're in, I think you're kind of too good for them. I think you're being taken advantage of. I don't think they're the right places for you to truly thrive. So, take that in mind. I can say this for other people too, like Corey Hansen. Because I respect a lot of what Corey Hansen does. I think a lot of the things that he does and his filming, it reminds me a lot of myself. So, I see him in relationships with people and friends that don't seem great, and I feel a little bad. So I think a lot of people need to take some time to reflect on what is truly best for them and where they would truly feel happiest. That was deep. Here's all the toys again. And I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm going to take a moment to read up through the chat, and then that will be it. I have not really had any time or motivation to film. I will try to soon, but I can't guarantee anything. It will happen, it's just a matter of when. Like, I'll film the Tetratops and the ladybug and whatever, but I don't know. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. I don't think it should come as a surprise that there's a leapfrog community. That doesn't surprise me at all. There are communities for way weirder things as far as I'm aware of. Anyways, what you can expect. Clips eventually, monthly tour review in the next week. Probably Thursday, if I had to guess. And it's that time of the year. For the past 3 years, technically, I've been doing randomized B videos where I randomize the toys every December. And November, but we're doing December. So this year's no exception. You're going to see a few of them. You're going to see Galileo and Neptune and a couple more. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but at least those two. Yeah, you guys can give it time to kind of see. But yeah, that's what you can expect. These will be sold soon. If you want anything, DM me. We can work at a price. And I think that will do it for now. Goodbye.